At Planet Fitness, we've got everything you need to get stronger with best-in-class equipment and free fitness training. So you can give everything you've got. Join today starting at just $15 a month. Planet Fitness, we're all strong on this planet. See Club for details.
Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Hello!
Hi!
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for January 11th through 15th. And again, we only had 4 episodes this week, and we're not going to talk about it, because really, there's
nothing to say.
There's not, and I'm just going to go ahead and guess that we're only going to have 4 episodes this week as well.
I would assume.
Because Wednesday's kind of a big day.
Yes.
So I'm going to guess it's preempted.
Yep.
I have not read anything official, probably could have looked it up, but I'm just going to go ahead and guess on that one.
Yep.
And if you hear a really strange revving in the background, apparently my neighbors have their quads out because it's like 30 degrees.
It's so muddy and yucky.
That's the time to go, though.
Okay.
Get all gross and dirty.
Yeah, no thanks.
But on this Thursday's episode of the Port Charles 411, we are going to be talking about Leslie Weber.
I'm super excited because we're going to learn so much.
We originally were going... See, and this is why we don't, put out a schedule of... I mean, we've still been saying for the past 18 months that we need to do the Spencers and the Cassidines and stuff like that. But we really like to just keep on... If something presents itself in the show,
yes,
we're going to do it. And we talked about we were getting ready to do David Hamilton because we're like, we need that story. We've heard everything that Laura's talked about, but we don't know the story. Then Leslie shows up,
right?
And we're like, you know what?
She's going to tell us.
We can wrap it all up with just Leslie,
right?
All right. So, anything that we need to announce before we get started on this week's?
I don't think so.
No. So if you joined us on Thursday's episode, we talked to another fan. So if you are interested in talking with us about your General Hospital story, just go to our website, pier54podcast.com, and there's a little For the Fan section. It's right there for you. Fill it out.
So easy.
Yep.
All right, I'm going first.
Okey-doke.
Oh, I keep grabbing more than one.
They're even multicolored. That's difficult to do.
I think because I go for the blue, because that's my favorite. Jason Brick Cyrus.
Ooh.
That was a good start.
That was.
So... I love Brick. He just needs to be around every day.
He does.
I love him. I think I say that every time we talk about him.
He always has really good one-liners.
Yes. Oh, Cyrus had the good one this week when he was talking to them. So they're at the restaurant. Is there a name?
Palazzo's.
Okay.
Palazzo's.
Whatever. They're at the restaurant. I knew there was, but I couldn't think of it. At the restaurant, discussing the fact that Sonny is still missing, presumed dead, and Cyrus comes in to kind of make a deal and talk about stuff that he won't admit that he did, but you assume that he did. They talked about the 5 families this week.
I know.
Which was so exciting.
Do we know who the 5 families are now?
I don't think so.
Because they rotate as they die.
Right.
And we just lost another one this week.
Yes. I did not write down.
It's the Novak
family.
Thank you. I didn't write it down until Friday.
Oh, okay. Perfect. So, yeah, that was what was going on. I don't know. Cyrus?
Well, Jason called him out on the massacre at the warehouse.
And he was like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
But then later on, he said, but when I do a favor, I expect a favor. So Cyrus definitely had that family taken out.
Yes.
And now expects Jason to thank him.
Right. As he said, I could say, let's put it's all water under the bridge, but that would be rude or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
It was very tongue-in-cheek about what happened.
Water under the bridge, because I laughed out loud as he said it. It was cute. Yeah, and Britt kind of called Jason out and was like, what are you doing? Why did you steal his mom? That's not
When did you get in the business of kidnapping old ladies?
Yes. And Jason pointed out that now they're kind of stuck, and that should keep Cyrus in line, because he has something that he wants.
I'm surprised that Jason did not confide in Brick, because he needs somebody on his level, in his knowledge, he would have told Sonny, but Sonny's not there, and Sonny is why.
They're not going to do that because they're going to make this big secret what pulls him and Carly together. You know they are.
Is that even possible now? Like, that's...
I mean, I would hope
the
not.
stuff that they have been through, no.
I think that's where they're going to go, though.
No!
Well, that's another card, I'm sure, but I think that's why he's not telling anyone.
He didn't even tell Spinelli.
Right?
All right, we'll go for red. Jason and Brando. Okay. So, I mean, they didn't really have a lot, but Jason kind of got some information from Brando about why he did what he did, and he's like...
there's hidden information, and went into all the dev stuff. And
Yes.
their main main concern was that Jocelyn would be tied into it.
Right, because Cyrus knew all this stuff, and it was more personal than business.
Yes.
So, you know, Jason kind of got his answer as to why Brando is doing the things that he is doing. Maybe he needs to talk to Brando about the Carly thing. I feel like he just needs to get the weight off his shoulders and share it with somebody.
I agree, but I don't think he's going to. Just not going to happen.
No. Yeah, so there really wasn't anything there.
No,
it was a good informative
Yes.
5 minutes.
Yes. Finally he understands. Because I'm sure he was like,
What's
what the
going
heck?
on
You're
here,
supposed to be
dude?
working both sides, and it doesn't feel like you are.
Right.
Sonny, well, that's an open end.
Okay, so
So, I knew they were going to call him Mike. I just knew it. And I don't like that.
first of all, let's start with the fact that Mike had a cameo.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about that. It's too soon.
It is too soon.
We just, no, it's, I wish it had been Morgan.
Yes.
That would have been perfect.
Right.
Then we would have had an answer, because I know a lot of people want Morgan to come back, because, again, no body,
Exactly.
everything. That would have given us Brian Craig for a tiny bit.
Yep.
Possible, we don't know how long this storyline's going to be going on, so he could have had a nice arc of being who's in Sonny's mind talking to him.
Right.
And helping guide him and finding his way back and everything.
Right.
That was mine.
No, I agree. I did not like that Mike was his ghost helper or whatever. I didn't like that they named him Mike, which, again, I just kind of felt like that's where they were going to go.
Well, his name is Michael. Right.
Yeah.
But his name is Michael.
It is Michael, but
so
no.
they're not entirely wrong with it.
Yeah, but you know the way they were taking that. They were taking it as Mike,
Right.
not Mike Sonny.
Well,
So,
yeah.
no. Didn't like that. And I was just waiting for him. I don't know if because we didn't get the Wednesday episode, that's what we were missing. But when the guy...
Well, that would have been Thursday's episode.
Yeah, when the guy broke into the bar and Sonny's just sitting there, I'm like, get up! Do something!
I
Come
feel
on!
like that was the most anticlimactic Friday, which I know it was supposed to be Thursday,
Right.
so therefore, whatever we're going to see tomorrow is...
Gonna be good? Are you
Hopefully.
promising?
I can't promise anything with this show.
So, no, I was disappointed. I was disappointed that he didn't do more there. And...
I thought for a second, though... Well, okay, so... This story is going to take us the longest to talk about.
Yeah.
Because, so first, everyone gathered at Sonny's house to toast him.
Right.
No, not yet.
No.
Seriously, guys? But then, so the guy found him in the snow and starts driving him. And he's driving fast, so of course they get pulled over.
Right.
And the cop doesn't recognize Sonny, and he's like, who are you? He's like, officer, I don't know. You know, and it's whatever. But, so they get him to the hospital, and who is his nurse?
Yes.
Phyllis Caulfield.
Of course.
You know,
she's the only one that it
Nina's
could be.
nurse.
Right.
And she's telling him about how she had a patient who came out of a coma after 20 years, and now she's getting reunited with her family, and we're trying to get reunited with her family, and blah, 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 blah.
And she's from Port Charles. Have you ever heard of that?
Right, and he looked like he might know, and then
he
didn't.
Right. And then she fed him yummy food.
She met him bolognese,
to
which
make food.
I'm like, that's an awesome nurse.
Yeah. I've never been to the hospital and been served fancy food like
A
that.
home-cooked
Thank you.
meal?
Yeah.
No. And then she decides to take him to, it's her husband's bar.
Right.
And I got the impression it was like Kelly's, and there were rooms above it. Is
That's
the
what I
impression
thought.
that I was getting.
Yes.
Okay.
And when the husband was so rude, I thought that he knew who Sonny was.
Well, and I
was
thought
like,
that
yes.
was that the bar that they got shot at.
No,
that was in Brooklyn. Okay. But then back at his house, Ava brings over Avery, and Avery's like, Daddy went to be with Kiki and Grandpa.
Yeah. I'm
like, okay, that was a really sweet way. And then Ava starts in on custody. No, that is not our Ava now.
Nope.
That is not.
No.
That's old Ava.
She's not. She would have gone after it, or she is going to go after it eventually.
She would in a couple weeks.
Day.
No.
Nope.
I know that this was your card, and I really just hijacked
You're
it. I'm
allowed.
sorry. So when he was in the hospital, my husband walked through, and he goes, "Man, he looks horrible." And I gave him the rundown. I said, "Yeah, well, he fell in the water when the footbridge collapsed and was stranded in the snow for who knows how long, and now he has amnesia." And he just looked at me and went, "Oh." But I have a massive, massive character problem.
Okay, we're going to be.
What are you going to say?
No, go ahead.
Nope, I want you to say it because it's your card.
If you have amnesia, do you forget that you're bipolar?
And do you not need your medicine anymore?
Right.
Yep. Same page. First thing, I was like, why is he not going into... It's a chemical imbalance in your brain that is scientifically proven. That's why you take medication to balance the chemicals. He would be in a manic state, right?
Yes. And
okay.
If they did the blood work that she said that
Thank you. It would have been in his system.
Yeah, he's on like lithium and like crazy drugs that, assuming it's
not
only
crazy drugs, but a lot of. He's on. Mm-hmm.
We've talked about Amanda Talk before, and I feel like I'm allowed to say crazy drugs because we've talked about the fact that my daughter's bipolar. So there is a chart of drugs, kind of like depression meds and any other meds, cholesterol meds, any meds. There's these baby doses that help you out if you're just a little bit.
You just need a little boost.
And then there's these very high potency drugs that you take if you are worse off. And they've already said that Sonny's bipolar is extreme and it needs a lot of management.
A high level of care, yes.
So the medicine that he's on is not one that is just going to like fade out of your system, like a 5 milligram something. It's in there.
So I'm on Wellbutrin, and it would show up in my blood for at least a couple days.
Exactly.
And I'm not on a super high dose. But, I mean, there are some drugs that, I mean, they do take a little bit longer. It's not one I've had... It's going to sound wrong, but I have tried other antidepressants that if I skip one dose...
It's out of your...
I feel horrible.
Yeah.
I have been able to skip days, not intentionally, but like it happens where I'm out on an appointment and I have a little pill box in my purse, and I just forgot to refill it.
Right.
But I don't get scared because I know that I'm
a little bit in the system.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. And I'm exactly where you are that...
Yeah. If they're running this blood test, it's going to pop up that he's on some type of psych meds somewhere, and they're going to have to trace all that together. Not that that's going to tell them that it's Sonny Corinthos, but...
No, but it would at least give him a level of care that he would...
Because,
this patient needs lithium for something.
I don't know how long he's been in the snow, so I don't know... You know, everyone cycles through their depression at different rates, so maybe he wouldn't be manic just yet, but if we're not at that point in another week or so, they're totally not doing Sonny justice.
And I do feel like at this point, though, he would be having some kind of symptoms based on what we have seen from him in the past.
Right.
So, please prove us wrong.
Yes. Follow the continuity of the story of this character that we've had for 25 years now.
And I can't believe that Maurice Bernard would be okay with not bringing that in because he knows firsthand, living with it, how it affects his day-to-day.
Right.
So I would imagine, I am praying that he just brings in that personal thought of, okay, well, if I was trapped in the snow and this was happening to me, I feel like this is where I would be going.
Yep.
Because it needs to.
Yeah.
And it does.
There's going to be a lot of people upset if they don't. Because we're not the only two people in the world who have that thought.
No. Okay, is that our soapbox?
That was.
Okay.
We tend to do that when it comes to mental health things.
Well, but it's also such an important part of Sonny's character.
Right.
It's not just, I feel like we would be feeling the same if we didn't have personal ties to it.
Right.
You know, it's...
Yeah.
I'm not diabetic, but I would still feel the same way. Like, if Bobby suddenly was in the same situation, and I'm like, doesn't she need her medication, you know?
Right.
Okay. Nina, Maxie, and Sasha. So this was kind of a short scene where Maxie and Sasha approached Nina about just coming forward, spilling the beans about Sasha's episode and her addiction, and basically following her through her recovery, too.
Right. I thought it was a great idea.
I thought it was a fantastic idea. And Nina is like, no, Sasha needs to heal differently. First of all, Nina cannot tell, right? And Sasha was sitting right there.
Yes.
Saying, please use my story to help others.
Right.
Really? We did an entire expose on Nina's baby.
Right. No, I thought the whole thing didn't make any sense. If it was just Maxie's idea and she was saying it in a not nice way, okay, yeah, that needs to be discussed.
Right.
But Sasha was right there saying this can shed light on, you don't necessarily have to be addicted to have tried it too many times and had some type of bad outcome, no matter how many times you tried it.
But there's multiple things there. She was also given a purer batch, or like a more higher potent batch that gave a 20-something-year-old a heart attack.
Yeah.
And, I mean, first of all, drugs are bad. Secondly, that can also happen where they have different levels that can, like, totally mess with you.
Right.
And it can happen to anybody.
Yep.
You know, she might be seen in the public eye as this, you know, quote-unquote perfect person, and now she's done her, quote, fall from grace.
Yeah.
I'm just going to quote all over the place. But this could be her real connection to the real people who want to be reading this magazine and following them on social media of, I mean, my gosh, look at Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
I mean, we are of the age where we knew, I mean, our kids now love him as Captain Jack Sparrow and Iron Man. But if you had told us back in the 90s that Robert Downey Jr. was going to be this big of a role model
right.
for kids,
no,
our parents would have probably locked us away. Been like, no, because he was in and out of jail all the time for drugs and other kinds of things. And he's turned around, you know, and he's...
Right, she's getting help. That's what they should be showing.
Right.
This are some of the steps you can take and give advice on how to find the help that you need.
Right.
It's a teachable moment, and she's not using it.
Yep.
So, I don't know what Nina's doing.
Agree. I don't think Nina knows what Nina's doing.
Very true. Molly and TJ. I love your sound effect. So, Molly said, let's throw a Band-Aid over all this and get married anyway. And TJ
commitment ceremony.
Same kind of basic thing. And
not according to them.
TJ was like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to take our time figuring out everything, see where we are. We're not breaking up, but we're not jumping ahead to that step either.
Right.
And so then she tried to make him feel better about the relationship by joining him in the shower, which seemed to go well for them. And am I going into Brando?
Yep.
Or they're separate? Okay. And then they went on about their day, and TJ confronted Brando at the hospital and punched him in the face.
I'm pretty sure TJ's going to get fired. Because I'm pretty sure that you cannot do that even if provoked.
No?
And Brando was just standing there.
Yeah.
Even though Brando said, I totally know why you're doing this.
Right.
But TJ talking to Curtis, and I forgot to put that on a separate note, though.
Oh, okay.
And he really let it out. He's like, my mom has basically lied to me my entire life about all the major things.
Yep.
Not just, oh, honey, it's going to be okay. No. This guy's your dad. No, this guy's your dad.
Yeah.
All these things.
Yeah, that's some pretty major stuff.
Yeah, so.
I'm glad that they're finally showing that dynamic, though.
I
Because
know.
we've been saying forever. Jordan just does all this stuff, and everyone's like, oh, but she did it for their best interest. She did it for that. No, you can't go around lying to people about everything and say it's for their best interest.
Right.
You don't get to choose that for everyone.
Right.
So.
I could understand her maybe not right away telling him, by the way, I knew that you were kidnapped the whole time.
Right.
But now's a good time before he figured it out.
Right.
Before...
she should have had a heart.
And she should have confronted Molly and said, by the way, I'm so sorry for all the crap that I said to you.
Yeah.
You have to understand where I was. Yeah, that should have really been a big come clean type of night. So,
yeah.
Dropped the ball.
They did.
I think that's really all there, though.
I mean,
yeah.
They had the conversation.
I feel like that was the first time that we really we've known that Molly and TJ have been together.
Yes.
And slept together and obviously live together now and are talking about lifelong commitment. But that was the first steamy.
Well, they're getting older now. It's appropriate.
Well,
it would have been weird
but
to see them before.
I'm just saying, it's so weird to see the little girl that...
I know. When Alexis had the photo book,
yep.
And they were flipping through the pictures that were like actual pictures from back then, that was crazy.
Yep. So we're just going to stick with Curtis and go right into him and Laura.
All right, go ahead.
So, did not occur to me that Laura had yet to tell Curtis all the things that she found out, considering that they were working together.
Right.
But again, holding true to my Laura's telling everyone in person, rather than a massive group text.
Yes.
Even though this might be an appropriate group text.
Because that would have been a really good text to be on.
But everybody in that group text would have needed that information.
Yes.
That is the only reason why group texts are okay. If everybody in the conversation, or everybody in the group text needs to be part of this conversation. Just little. Had that discussion with a kid this week. I'm like, if someone does not need to be part of this, like, don't group text your friends, hey, so-and-so's selling something for a fundraiser, and then everybody replies, what? No. And then the questions come.
Right.
And then it's like, seriously, quit blowing up my phone. Same thing with reply all. Reply all. BCC is a reason. That's how we got started on the conversation.
Okay.
Was the difference between CC and BCC. And I was like, when you are just need to send a lot of information out to a lot of people, that's pertinent to everyone, but doesn't need replied back to everybody.
Right.
BCC.
Yep.
That should be a first option before CC. I'm sorry.
It should.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So anyway, Laura tells Curtis that she has 2 new half-brothers and Florence Gray is their mom. He kept dodging the questions about Jordan, and I love her with Curtis. Because she's like, all right, you going to tell me why you're ignoring my questions
Yeah,
now?
she was very polite. She finished all the information he needed, and then she was like, all right, I noticed this. We're going to come back to you. Give me the information.
Right.
Why are you avoiding all Jordan talk?
I would have never guessed that they would have this kind of friendship, and I love it. I love their relationship. And he spilled the beans to her. I feel like this was the first time that he was actually able to talk about his feelings, like in everything. And he's like,
right.
Well, I haven't been home since Christmas because all of these things happened. I just love Laura. She's a good friend.
She is. She's a good friend. I like that she was telling everyone in person, and that she gave them the proper time to have all of their emotions with it too. Because he was like, wait, what? How? Not making the connection.
Like, and how did you figure this out? Well, I was stuck in the bathroom. And Martin comes in with a cake, a hummingbird cake.
Right, he's like, how do you go from being in Florence's room to figuring out that you all have the same dad?
Right.
She's like, no, here, I'll explain it. So it was
a really good scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Their interactions feel true.
Yes.
Like, you could see 2 friends actually having that conversation. It's not extra drama, and it's not super dull. It's a normal, so this is what's going on.
Right. And is not that way in front of Jordan also.
Right.
Because it's definitely a little bit more hostility when Jordan's in the room. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amy and Brando. I love her.
She's just so cute.
I love her. She reacted the exact same way that I would have. She walked into the exam room and was like, oh, sorry, wrong room. Well, maybe not. And then he said about whatever, he was checked out or he's fine or whatever. And she was like, are you sure someone checked out your apps? I mean, he was like, yes. And then she said something about TJ hitting him. I don't know how she worded it. And he was like, oh, wow, it gets around fast here. And she was like, oh, yeah, like, we know all the gossip. And then she just stood there for an extra second to admire all of that. And then she left him be.
That was it. I just love that scene.
Exactly.
I'm going to add this in as my next one because I know that I forgot to put it on a card, was when Brando had to hold Sasha back from telling off Cyrus. So at the Metro Court, again, Cyrus was there, and Sasha went and told him off.
Yes.
And told him about how he's responsible for her heart attack. And she's like, well, I'm pretty sure that bags of Coke just don't wind up under plates.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And told him about how he has no empathy and how he's judging Jason by the standards of things that he would do.
Yep.
And she's like, I've spent a lot of time with Jason. He would not do that. And I loved it. And then Cyrus told Brando, be careful. She has an because Cyrus warned him about ex-boyfriends because, you know.
He was late, yes.
Because he was late to meet Cyrus. And he's like, well, I slept with a girl and her her boyfriend found out.
Right.
Learned the hard way. He's like, I think he did say at one point, like, I thought it was her ex-boyfriend, but whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But he was telling the truth to Cyrus, too. He could go check out the hospital records and see.
Right.
Yeah, my guy got punched by a doctor, so now TJ is going to get fired.
Definitely.
But Cyrus warned Brando about ex-boyfriends and how Sasha was with Michael not too long ago. So, but I still am pulling for a Brando Sasha. Because then they talked about how, well, how's it going? Oh, it's going good.
Just be friends. They can just be friends that share the same recovery information that maybe they should share with Alexis and all get on the same page.
Maybe. But I like them. I don't know. I think they're cute.
No, I'm not ready for them to be together.
Okay.
Talking about Amy, it would be nice if they threw Amy with him. Like, she needs somebody fun to hang out with. That would bring so much more to the show.
Yeah. Yeah, they've really always let her down because they had her crushing after Griffin.
Right.
And Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
Right. We've never seen her on a date at all.
You know what, though? No. I'm going to ask that not happen now because she has had such a physical change.
Oh, yeah. I don't want it to be like now she's cute enough because she's always been beautiful.
Exactly. But I would now have a problem if they suddenly got her a romance because
maybe it could be
she should have had
new,
one.
So that it's not like he didn't
Still,
like you before, but now he
still.
likes you. No, I think someone new would be fine because they didn't know what she was like before. She's just so much fun.
She is, and I love her being there, but I don't know.
She needs someone.
Can we bring her back more without a relationship? I don't want her to just be brought back now because she's in a relationship.
I don't mean a relationship like tied down to just one person doing nothing because then they get stale. I mean a relationship like she's excited that she's going on the date. So we see her getting ready and cute and going out and doing something and then talking about it the next day and all the flirtatiousness because she's just so cute.
She is.
But
do you understand what I'm saying? Like
I do, and I don't want it to be presented like that because that would make me mad.
We don't need to she's all that.
No. She's always been beautiful.
Gorgeous.
And so funny. I don't want them to play.
I know that you're not, but I'm just, I was all for it until I realized, no.
Let's bring her someone new who didn't know her before, so it's not now I can be with you.
Right. Because you took your glasses off and straightened your hair. Right. So now you're hot.
Right.
Because that happens.
Yes.
Sabrina.
Right. It's okay, Shannon. I'm going to move on before Shannon starts yelling. Olivia, Sam, Alexis. Well, I'm glad that Olivia finally said something like, hey, this isn't all making sense.
Right.
Because Alexis really seems convinced that she didn't drive that car. Sam, I still kind of felt like she was not in it wholeheartedly. Like, she needs to pick a side.
Yeah.
And I know it has to be confusing because it's your mom and you want her to be okay. But one day she takes such a strong, I'm not talking to you, I'm not doing anything with you. And then the next day she's at our house like, no, don't burn that book. Here, let's have a conversation. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, and the book is Ava left a photo album on Alexis's doorstep.
That was mean, too, of Ava.
That Julian had.
Yeah, it was not the time for that. She knew that was mean.
Now, that one feels like Ava, though, because Ava had already had her words with her about...
But I feel like that's taking that the next step, and Alexis is Nicholas's aunt, and
True.
They have a good relationship.
True.
So you wouldn't push her further to drink, because that would hurt your husband.
Yes. Okay.
So, no, I felt like that was just extra mean. But I'm glad that they're figuring it out. I was waiting for Sam to say we have to call Spinelli, and I was like, if you call Spinelli about a simple home alarm, I'm going to be really angry, because there has to be an easier way to do it.
Oh, so Alexis apparently has a security system that was put in before Tracy would have dropped her off.
Right.
Well, and the reason that Olivia and Sam went over is because Sam was like, my mom keeps her coffee right on the counter in a container that says coffee.
Yeah.
So Olivia's like, are you sure? And so they drive over, they go see Alexis. That's when she's cutting up the pictures and starting to throw them in the fire and stuff. Oh, and Olivia sat with her as she threw them in the fire. Right. And Olivia's like, oh, that's gone.
Are you sure you want to burn that one?
I mean, she was cringing, but at the same time, she's like, okay, but I'm just going to let you do what you need to do, even though...
I was glad she was only burning the pictures of the two of them, because the pictures of the kids when they were younger, I thought, why would you burn that? Because those are pictures you can't get back.
Right. So Olivia was like, hey, can I make us all some coffee? And Alexis says, yeah, it's right on the counter,
Like always.
So why hasn't Alexis is a smart woman. She's sober right now. She was sober during these scenes. She's not
she just started
sober.
Drinking. Yeah.
Right. But I feel like at one point over the past couple weeks, she would have thought about, perhaps the first time she made coffee afterwards.
Right.
Like, seriously, how did Tracy not find this?
Yeah. Or even the fact that she has the alarm system.
Yeah.
She never thought of the fact
Wait,
that
okay.
she didn't
Can you call my security system and ask, okay, that's what I was...
No, I didn't... That call came after she told her the code, right? Or before she told her the code. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if she would have told her the code, I'm sure they ask, like any kind of
what's your
verification
code? Yeah.
thing. What's the street you grew up on and your code and the last four of something that you may know about your mother. Okay, that's fine. But they didn't ask anything. She's just like, I'm calling to ask if this thing went off or not. No.
Right.
No.
But would she... I don't know how PIs work either, and if she even still has her license, but are they able to access that information?
I don't think so, because I don't think you can access any type of information like that without a warrant.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm just curious.
I mean, I don't know, but I would assume, no, it's still a personal record.
Yeah.
That you can't get into just because. Now, maybe she had a connection there, but she didn't say, hey, Joe, it's Sam. Can you look up such and such? That would have been, okay, whatever. But no, she acted like they just hand out that information.
That would have been something for her to call Spinelli about, hey, can you tell if this went off? Because that would have been something that he would have had to hack that then would have made sense to us, how she got the information.
But I would have been mad if they called him for something that little. Because I'm assuming she does know the information. Or could have asked for the information.
Right.
So, don't bother Spinelli with, little things. Come on.
Okay.
He's a genius.
Well, and then Tracy showed up.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Right. I was just checking on her. No, you weren't.
Well, didn't someone tell her that Olivia and Sam went to Alexis's? No? I'm imagining that. Okay, so I feel like I watched this week, but I did not absorb a lot.
If that happened, I totally missed it.
It might not have, but still, Tracy randomly showed up.
Not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Yeah, I don't remember.
I feel like Ned told her.
Did he? I don't know.
Maybe.
Apparently, we half watched at the same moment. Or I don't know.
I'm putting in that connection for myself to make sense of the fact that Tracy just showed up to check on Alexis because she was worried about her.
Oh, she had just talked to Finn.
Okay, but he didn't know that Sam was there.
Finn said that she was there, but I think that conversation is what made her go check on Alexis.
Okay.
It's because her and Finn are so... Tracy and Finn are really good friends, and Finn kind of called her out on, what were you doing there?
Right.
Whatever. So,
okay.
Yeah, I think that's
so there was a handsome man telling Tracy.
I can't believe you didn't remember. It was your Finn. My gosh.
I was stuck on him talking about charades.
Uh-huh.
That was my favorite line for the week. Side note, Finn was on the phone with Anna, and he's like, all right, Chase is here. He's playing charades. Yeah. It was just funny. Okay, anyway, back to Sam. And then Sam just points out oh, by the way, did you see my mom has a new state-of-the-art security system? Right. Tracy's like, oh, that's nice. Who?
No, I don't. That whole conversation.
Right.
I understand they want you to get it sometimes, but nobody's that dumb. When she typed in the code in the beginning, it was like, oh, okay, she got a security system. And then they showed it. It kept chiming every time she walked in the door, and you're like, I got it.
Sam should have asked Tracy. So my mom was able to remember Danny's birthday that night, right?
Right.
Something to, okay, so my mom at least told you the code. And if Tracy had replied, no, I thought it was Scouts.
Right.
then
Right.
Tracy...
Or even when Olivia said, we're going to lock up, she should have said, well, we want to lock up, but we don't know the code. Alexis already went to bed. Do you remember it from the other night?
Right.
Like,
Yes.
something. Instead of just, we're going to lock up. Well, of course you are. You don't just leave somebody's house open. What the heck?
Seriously, we are willing to be writers. Not even writers. Not writers. Not writers. Consultants for continuity. Because that would have been an amazing aha, gotcha moment.
Right. Exactly. Just remember that we're all not dumb.
Yes.
And I know that it's a show. You're not supposed to think that far into it, but some of it is so, how do you not?
Right. No, I agree. Did you go, Boss?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe? I don't know. It's not going to work. You were making up stuff, so we're not on the same page.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Jackson Trina.
Oh, that was so cute.
It was. So really short, Jax was basically giving Trina some advice on forgiving Taggart and, just not losing the time that she has with him.
Right.
That was really it.
Reminding her that
Yeah.
parents don't know everything, so...
And he said, I don't know what I would have done if the situation were the same.
Right.
And Joss was too young, but Jax did do the same thing.
Right.
Jax was dead for a period of time.
Yes.
And Carly knew it and didn't tell them, and Michael told her off, and it was a whole thing. But that's a whole other...
Right. He wasn't going to say all that.
Yeah.
So one time I faked my death. What? No.
Right, but Joss is too young to remember that.
Right, so it doesn't count.
But again, with the... Thank you, Mr. Jax. Just the politeness of...
Yes.
And Jax was very nice and said, I'm so sorry I haven't had a chance to talk to you since your dad came back.
Right.
Just...
Like that happens all the time.
And are you okay?
Yeah.
It's... I like the respect that the kids have for the adults and that the adults do show them as, okay, you're still a teen, but you're handling a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you're a growing up teen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird. They're so old. I love them, but I don't love them because they are our kids' ages, and I'm like, stop.
Right.
I'm not ready for all of this. Finn, Tracy, and Alexis, which we just kind of covered. Tracy walked up to Finn and was like, hey, stranger. And he was like, I'm not the stranger. I've been here the entire time. You're the one that left. And then they had the conversation about Alexis. And then they talked about playing games and hanging out. I don't know if there was
She's going to take him.
else.
Well, so she wants to know if she's invited to the wedding. And he said, would you prefer invited or to crash? And she's like, I would like to crash, but I would like the chicken.
Yes. Yes.
I loved that.
Right.
But then with Alexis and Finn on Monday, he confronted her about not going to AA and was like, no, this is not how, like, I'm not letting you do this.
Right.
Like, you've put in too much work. And I have a note of Tracy telling Ned that she'll protect his marriage. I do think that Ned told her. It might have been Ned telling her that Olivia and Sam went to check on Alexis.
Maybe.
Because she wasn't okay.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
I know.
I just don't remember
But I'm not.
it.
But I'm not crazy because right above Finn and Alexis talking about AA is Tracy telling Ned she'll protect his marriage.
I'm not crazy. I feel like we say that so many times.
But yes, and so Finn is on team. Let's get Alexis the help that she needs,
Right.
and hold her to it. But he can do that,
Yes.
because he's been in her situation.
I like that Finn has so many girl friends. It's cute.
I would like to go be a girlfriend.
I'm sure that you would, but you mean a different kind of girlfriend than I mean.
No, because that's just he's too old for me.
Okay.
That'd be I just enjoy him.
I don't know that sounded much better.
I like to look at him. I enjoy his characters. Let's see what we're going to talk about next. Chase, Willow, Michael, Sasha.
Ugh, I'm glad you got that one because I'm over it.
So, Chase and Willow did kiss.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Except for, not only did they kiss, they just kissed, and the way he made it sound like to Michael was they did a whole lot more than that.
I don't think so.
Yes, huh?
I don't. Yes, huh?
Yes, huh.
We're like 5. Okay.
Yes, huh? I'm stomping my feet, and that is the answer.
Nuh-uh. Well, Chase and Willow were thinking about each other. And, yeah, so Michael met Chase. I like that they talked to each other, like, as guy friends and girlfriends. So Willow invited Sasha over to talk to her. And Willow's very conflicted. Sasha is like, but she apologized. She was like, I did not mean to be there when you know, they got this information about Sonny. I wasn't there to comfort him. I know that that's your job. Like, that's your, not job. That's your
area.
I'm like, I don't want to say responsibility. I don't want to say, but it is. If you're a wife, you comfort your husband. And then Chase and Michael hung out at the bar, and Chase wasn't going to say anything. And then Michael said, Willow told me everything.
Uh-huh. I'm just
and
so
then
over
Chase
all of
kind of
it.
let it slip that they kissed.
No, because he didn't say we kissed. He said things just happened or something like that. The way that he worded it, it made it sound like more than that, which is what Michael thinks now happened, and he's going to go back to Willow
I
and
don't
try
think
to
so.
let her out of this relationship because she hooked up with Chase, which means that that's who she wants to be with, and she's conflicted, and it's just going to be all messy.
I didn't take anything that Chase said as though they
Yes,
hooked up.
They hooked up. That is absolutely what he was saying, even though he wasn't trying to say it. He's just a man.
But he thought that Michael
and they
knew
say
what he was
things
talking about.
dumb sometimes.
But Michael said that he knew what he was talking about.
Right.
So therefore, Chase thought that he knew it was just a kiss. For him to say, it just got out of, like, you know, it was just so nice. We were sitting there talking. It was like old times and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
He knew they were at the Metro Court. They weren't getting it on in the middle of the Metro Court.
No, but there's a hotel room right upstairs.
But Willow came right home that night.
Okay. I think Michael thinks that they hooked up, and now Michael's going to let her go, and then 3 months from now, they're all going to be conflicted again anyway, and that's how Michael and Willow are going to be back together.
I don't know.
And it's just dumb. We don't need to break them up to put them back together. Sasha said, I'm not going to be your easy
I
out here.
loved that.
You decide what you want,
Yep.
and then we'll go from there.
Yep.
Because Willow was all about, well, if you still want Michael, then I'll go back to Chase. But if you don't, then I don't know what I'm going to do. Even though she didn't actually say it.
Good for Sasha, though.
Good for Sasha, but
Because she still loves
bored with
Michael.
all of it.
Oh, my gosh.
So who talks like that?
I don't know.
They're beating it to death. Make a decision, or else you aren't making a decision.
Right.
I am like the queen of conflicted when it comes to love. You don't keep talking about it in circles over and over and over again with that person. With that person. I'm going to clarify. With that person. You whine at your friends about it until you wonder why they're still friends with you. That's what you do.
Because we watch General Hospital, so therefore we totally understand why we talk about these things.
Exactly. So no, I was just bored with all of it, and I do not like the way I think they're going to...
Do you have some personal issues with
Go
this
with it.
situation that you're
so dumb.
feeling conflicted about wanting to...
No,
I have my clipboard today. Let's just Freud this up, you know?
I feel like I'm always in that state, but I don't call these men up and be like, so, I really like you, but I can't really like you, blah, blah, blah. No.
So what's your last note of General Hospital?
Sam and Dante?
Yeah, just them talking. They were really bonding this week.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, at Sonny's house.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about last week.
I know.
Metro Court, and I'm like, didn't they just
No.
say the same stuff this
It's just
week that
really
they said
weird
last
that, like,
week?
now suddenly they are bonding, in my opinion. It's, if they were going to have had a bonding moment, it would have been
Right.
when Leo was born years
I
ago.
agree.
And
Even Olivia, when she was talking to Sam this week,
Right.
was like, we're family, you're Leo's, like, she couldn't get there. Because
Right.
it's so,
oh, I hated
all over
she used
the
the word
place.
half-sister.
I don't like that either, because we don't do halves in my family, but maybe with that age difference.
Okay. Yeah, because we've talked about that. Like, if my kids were older when I got remarried, like, college, you know, or
Right.
even now, like, if I just got remarried now, perhaps my husband would not be their dad. He would be their stepdad.
Right.
Even though so I noticed my daughter sent both my husband and I a text this morning. She's over at her dad's, and the group name is Parents.
Aw.
And I was like, that is so sweet, because she never texts me and her dad at the same time. And if she does, she actually texts all three of us. Which
gotcha.
I think that says a lot. I
It
think
does.
that, I mean, I know that she texts her dad. Like,
Yeah.
I do know that.
Right.
But it was, she needed something that, for our house,
Yeah.
so it made sense that she texted the both of us.
Very
She straight texted me about something else that she wanted to download. So, yep. But yeah, I mean, it's weird.
It's
The Sam and Dante thing
It
is
is.
just, I guess our little half families and everything can lead us into,
Reality check.
That's our reality check.
yeah.
No, our sad reality check that also fans are sad about was last week after I left is whenever I saw that John Riley, who played Sean Donnelly, passed away. And
Yeah.
I seriously teared up. And then
I did for you, because I know that I only just started being able to watch him.
I saw it as soon as I left here, because we record on
Sundays.
Sundays.
Oh, yeah.
And so as soon as I got home,
it was within 15 minutes.
And I was like, what? And I was so sad. And then my sister, who used to watch Cheech the same way that I did, like, it was running in the background, so she knew who they were, but she didn't watch, texted me, like, 2 days later and was like, did you know that Sean died? And I was like, yes. And I forgot he was on 90210.
So did I!
Until I
He was
saw
Kelly's
it.
dad.
Yes. Totally forgot that.
But, like, I would not have connected because he was hardly on 90210.
Right.
So that when I started watching on YouTube, Sean Donnelly, it wouldn't have connected. Wait, that's Kelly Taylor's dad. Yeah.
So, but I'm so sad.
Maybe we should do Sean Donnelly.
I don't know what there is even to say anymore, because he hasn't been a recent character, but
he was on in 2013.
Sad.
Or was he on for the 50th? Or was he on for Luke leaving in 15?
Luke leaving, I think. I'm not sure.
It was one of the two.
I don't know. Very sad.
Amanda's so cute. She just pulled up her hair and, like, cuddled it up to her cheek like it was comforting. It was so cute.
It's very sad. I loved him.
I know.
I really did. I loved him. So very sad. But anyway.
That's okay.
That's all I have going on.
Was that your reality?
That's my reality checks. My kids two of my kids were stuck at their dad's all week because they were quarantining, because he decided to take them without me knowing that Matt had been exposed, and then Matt ended up having it, so they had to quarantine there. So,
yeah.
Won't get into my anger issues on the fact that he took them, knowing that Matt had been exposed, but luckily everyone is safe and fine, and Matt is feeling better, and that's all that matters. So I should have them back tomorrow. But it was like, the end of the school day, the end of the work day, the end of whatever. There's kids.
What did you do?
There's nobody there. So I finally painted my bathroom that I've been saying for how many years that I was going to do.
Yay!
So I finally painted it, and it looks really good, and I'm very proud of myself that I got it done. 1,000 other projects that I could have probably done that I still didn't do, because I totally just was sad that my Madeline wasn't there, and sat there and took that time to be sad.
Well, sometimes you have to process.
Exactly. So, but besides that, it was good. Emily's bowling started this week finally, so she's excited for that, and she did well. And now, a perk of Corona is that you can't have everyone in the bowling alley, so I can just sit at home on the couch and watch it on Facebook, which I am doing. So.
And that's the thing. So, are you done?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'll just segue into, so we start the new 9 weeks.
Yes.
This week.
Friday?
Week? Friday, yeah. Or is Friday the last day of the second?
Yeah.
So next week.
Because they're off next Monday for
Well,
that.
I don't know how, but somehow my son's schedule got messed up at the beginning of the school year. His counselor forgot to have him take economics. Well, but because of COVID, now they're doing the online, so he's able to have all of his classes, plus now he's doing online economics. Well, then something happened with his schedule for the upcoming 9 weeks, and he was going to have to do his last semester of high school without junior ROTC, which he has been in and actively involved in from day one freshman year.
I didn't even realize that was a semester class.
I don't think it is. I think that I don't think it is.
Okay.
And then she responded back, and this is also this is how we were talking about the CC thing, because I said, okay, you need to email your counselor and Master Sergeant and say, listen, I don't know how I missed this, but I'm noticing that it's not on my schedule for the next 9 weeks. I am not going to, I'm going to be really upset if I miss the last semester of high school being involved. And she responded back saying that, well, I can't switch your English class or something. And so I told him, I said, so ask if you can do it as PDLA, which is the name of our online whatever. Guess what works?
Of course it does.
So I will be collecting my paycheck at some point. I'm not even kidding, though, because this year I've had a heck of a time with, she wouldn't get me transcripts. We just got access to something that we've been asking for access to since last fall for college stuff.
Right. They said that I was like a general email, like, hey, we're helping you. No, why didn't we have that?
We have specifically been asking for access to it. And he has had access to it because his college guy has been helping him through all that. But, I didn't have access to my account. Well, guess what? We log in, check, everything is done because we did it ahead of time. But
that's not the point.
It's not. And especially where we were asking for it.
Yes.
So that's just a whole other thing. But you kind of had a shared reality check with me this week as we got the email for ordering cap and gowns.
Yes.
And I cried after I did it.
Oh, you're funny.
I did. Because I was just like, oh my gosh, this is actually... But you've already done this with one.
I have. And you're right. You're right. It is totally different between 1 and 2. Not that it's not...
But it's...
as exciting, but I don't know if it's the boy thing, because our oldest are both boys. I don't know if it's that, or if it's just the relationship, like, per kid, because that's different. But my son, I didn't want... Like, I wanted him to move on, because they need to move on. But I didn't want him to move on because it was like, oh, my baby's leaving me. Whereas with my daughter, which I feel like you're going to be the same way when it comes time for your daughter, it's like a true accomplishment. Like, yes, you're finally here.
Right.
Now let's go. So,
right. And it's not, she's going to be a 12th grade next year, my daughter, but she's not going to, well, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. There's 2 schools in Pennsylvania. There's 2 colleges in Pennsylvania that accept autistic students and teach them how to live independently.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we're going to be looking into those and everything.
Right.
So it's possible that, oh my gosh, in a year I could be looking at being an empty nester, at least for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's...
Yeah, they're 2 different emotions. So,
yeah.
That you're in that stage.
Like, if it happens for my daughter, I'm going to be I'm still going to be a wreck, though.
Oh, yeah.
But...
Right. It's your job as parents to prepare them to move on, but that doesn't mean that you're not sad when they do.
Right. And I think that the thing is that, and I have since read that it's an incorrect date, but I also found a picture that says Stranger Things Season 4 is coming out August 21st, and my son and I always watch it together, and he won't be here.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to cry now.
You can do the
we have to, like, he has to, because we woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch Season 3 on 4th of July. Like, that was, he and I were planning it, like, that's our thing, and I'm like, no, this is known to be the last one, and now I'm not going to have it.
You can do a watch party.
Or I'm just going to go stay at college with him for a night.
There you go.
Mommy's sleeping over, dude. I'm not going to do that. I am so kidding. I would not do that. Maybe he'll just have to come home and do his class from online.
There you go.
Because now we can do that. So
very true.
And on Friday night, so 2 of my friends have birthdays in January, and they're friends. Like, they are friends. And we were talking about how it stinks that we can't do stuff and, like, we can't do anything. And one of them was like, I saw on Etsy that they have murder mystery Zoom packages.
Oh.
And they asked me if I would mind coordinating it because they were both in it.
Yeah.
So we did. And we had it on Friday night.
Cute picture of you in your tiara.
It was, so my character was, and we were able to do it so that I could play too, because I had my husband email everyone their assignments, like who the murderer was. So I didn't know. Nice. And it was, but I was able to host it without knowing that.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was so much fun. So it was called Bullets on Broadway. It's on Etsy, and it was only $40. And they give you, character packets. They give you a ticket picture that you can fill in the information and send it to someone as their invitation. They have a Spotify playlist for you to listen to like get in the mood for Broadway. They had Zoom backgrounds, and they had how you can do this in person and how you can do it online. So, I was really, really impressed. And we can do it again with the same package because it's going to change.
Right.
Based on, it's up for up to 20 people.
Oh,
and we had 9.
There you go.
So there's still 11 characters that we didn't have. But my husband was torturing me because he's like, I know who the killer is. I'm like, do not tell me, because he is horrible at planning surprises. So, but he did good, and it was so much fun. But my character was Idina Menzel, which is Idina Menzel, who I adore. And so I was just really excited to be her. But she was a diva actress, so that's why I wore my tiara.
Very nice.
So, yeah, it was a really all over the place week, I guess, for both Life and General Hospital.
There you go.
So join us on Thursday as we talk about Miss Leslie Weber.
Have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to peer54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review. And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Peer 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.